Well, good afternoon and happy Thanksgiving, everybody, and welcome back to Living the Dream. I'm Jim.
And I'm Marge.
And we got a couple of questions from some folks that are subscribers about what we do to keep an eye, not literally, on the pets when we're RVing or when we're away from the house. So we thought we would do a video on one of the things that we do, and that's the use of Waggle. Waggle is a pet monitor. It's actually a temperature, humidity, and power loss device that has its own 4G cellular service. So let's get into it. So we wanted to talk to you. A couple of folks have been asking us, how do you keep an eye or an ear on your pets when you're RVing or even when you're away from the house? And one of the things that we do, and we've been doing for a couple of years now, is Waggle. Waggle is a pet monitor that will send you a text message or email within, I'm talking real-time alerts here. If there is a power failure noted by the device, or if it goes below or above the temperature settings that you will set in the app that Marge will talk about in a little bit. Also, if there's a humidity warning, which is kind of cool. So what had happened is we've been using this device for a couple of years now, and we noticed over the last maybe month or so that we had been having some problems with our original device. So I had contacted the help desk for Waggle, and I had been in contact repeatedly with Mike. Shout out to Mike, and occasionally Scooby. Now I don't know if Scooby is a virtual thing or if Scooby's real, but I won't lie to you, we got a little bit of a chuckle when we were talking about our pet alert and we were dealing with Scooby at the Waggle help desk. So Mike had gone back and forth with me for a day or so and really tried to resolve the issue after we had explained to him what was going on. And they had done some resets on their end, and they had given us a couple of procedures on our end that we could have done, which we did, and to no avail. They didn't work out. So what was totally unexpected and at no cost to us, Mike had told us to ship him back our original Waggle monitor, and they sent us a new one at no charge. Again, totally unexpected. They are not sponsoring this video. We are not affiliated with Waggle, but we just thought in the day and age when people want to complain about every single thing that goes wrong, sometimes folks need a shout out and a pat on the back for when they do something right, and that's what we are doing today for Waggle and Mike specifically at the help desk. So this arrived within 1 or 2 days of Mike saying he was going to ship it out. It came via the United States Postal Service into our mailbox, and we did unbox it and we put it into service, but we wanted to go over with you folks what it does and what your expectations are and what our expectations are and what we have noticed in real time with how it works for us. So again, we predominantly had purchased this so that we could RV and know that if there was a disruption in power or the air conditioners in the RV failed when we were away from it, that we would have some way of being notified. And Waggle has done that to a T. I mean, they have been absolutely fantastic.
Excellent customer service.
Yeah, for sure.
As helping us out.
Yeah, so we happened to be up in Biloxi, Mississippi back in
March of this year. or this year.
Yeah, March of 2022, and the Wi-Fi / internet connection at the one particular campground we were at was less than 4.
Adequate.
I mean, it was brutal. We had a lot of problems with connecting to the internet, but we did a couple of Waggle tests in the 4G service. Say hello to Theo, who's going to jump in. The 4G service, which is its own connection through the Verizon towers, worked without an issue. It was explained to us that it delivers a very small packet of information, so it doesn't really require the internet that upload or download does. So we were excited about the fact that it worked even if we were in some remote areas where the internet / Wi-Fi wasn't great. So inside the box is a setup card that Marge is going to talk about real quick, and that barcode in conjunction with the app that you will download via iOS or Android will actually get you moving on that. It came with a really cute Waggle pet monitor door hanger, which we're going to put outside the RV, and a sticker that you can't see because I haven't taken it apart yet, that also says that there is a pet temperature monitor system working, so that folks will be aware of that, which is kind of nice. We also have a separate sign that says that there are pets on board with our cell phone numbers, so that if something happens to the RV and someone happens to see that, and RVers are awesome, man. They're like motorcyclists, right? They're just great people, the last people on earth that are great. So we'll hopefully have someone call us. Knock on wood, nothing has ever happened. So as far as the startup, when we unboxed it, the Waggle device was in it. It was not charged yet from the store, and you can see the green light that is illuminated indicates that the battery is fully charged. When it is charging, it will be red when it is on a lower battery charge, and then it changes, I believe, to orange flicker, and then it goes solid green. When I disconnect this plug, which is a standard computer style plug, you'll see that the battery does stay green. Now, you're probably in the background wondering, and you're going to leave us a comment, well, Jim, we're not hearing any of these alerts that you talk about on your phone, and that's because we have disconnected them via the app, just so it doesn't turn or blink and text us 10 times.
Constantly.
So I did plug it back in. It has a USB plug on the other end as well, a very thin cord, which seems to be much easier to move around when you're trying to mount this device. It did come with a mounting bracket with some 3M tape on the end, and again, shout out to Waggle. They put a hole in the bottom of this thing so that when you connect the device, you're actually not trying to feed that wire in, but it'll actually just plug right into this spot right here. So again, very cool. So once we got the device, Marge, she handles all the technical stuff. She actually was able to connect it in what?
Yeah, it was 30 seconds. We had already put the app on our phones because we had the device for almost 2 years. I don't think it really matters if you put the app on first or after, but when you get it, there's a black card in there that has a barcode on it. Excuse me, you just scan that with your phone and it will automatically set up your warranty. From there, the app is pretty easy because all you need to do, I have it on here, is you go to where it says more and then settings, and it pretty much, I can't see it, but it pretty much talks you through everything. So you can set the temperature up for Celsius versus Fahrenheit. You can set up the temperature parameters, too high, too low. You can set up humidity. You can set up power loss. It'll tell you, excuse me, or you can actually adjust how often you want it to alert you. So if, you know, the power goes out and you say you want an alert again in an hour, if the power's still out, it'll alert you in an hour. Same thing with the temperature parameters.
Yeah, and you do have the ability to turn them off. So when we transition this from the house to the RV, we do turn off the alerts, so it's not, you know, texting us and emailing us. There is a limited amount of text, I believe 250 texts that are used within that year
and on
time
that
frame.
note, you can put up to 5 phone numbers or 5 emails for the alert, and you'll get both immediately as soon as there's a change in the temperature. So we put each of our phones in, but you know, just so you know, if you have a family, you can
Yeah, and emails as well,
Several.
both are emails, yeah. And the cool thing is, we've tested this particular device that's in my hand probably in upwards of a half dozen times, moving it from outlet to outlet, just checking the temperatures, making sure it's that plus or minus 2 degrees that Waggle suggests. Anything more than that, when you get into that 4 or 5 degree range, they want to be contacted just to make sure that the device is functioning correctly. So expect a plus or minus 2, and we're about that right now. I think when we woke up this morning, it was 70 degrees in the house, and the device was reading 71 and a half, something like that. So even if it's reading a little bit higher, if you do your own measurements and you have an idea what it's saying compared to what is actual, you'll know that when you're in your RV and you take a peek at it and it says 84, that it's actually whatever, 81 or 82 or whatever the differences is that you have predetermined. So really, really cool. The app, very interactive, especially the RV part of it. You can actually use the notes section in there to put your docking or your departing notes in there on how you set up or break down your RV, track your RV, track the mileage, etc. So really an interactive app, and as far as apps go, really easy to use.
Very easy.
Yeah, so we have our temperature minimum set at 50 degrees, and our maximum is set at 81, and you can change them on your own just by simply going into the app. And the reason we set our high temperature at the low end is we want to know when it hits 81 and sends me an alert, we want to know enough to start heading back. So Marge and I already have determined, predetermined that when we have a indication that there is a power loss through Waggle, or a temperature spike or disruption, that we are heading back. And we don't care if 30 seconds later it says power has been restored. We think, with campground electricity being so transient at times, and we don't want to have a problem that we ignore. So we're heading back, like I said, period. It doesn't matter if it kicks back on in 30 seconds or if the air conditioners kick back on. Even if the power fails in our auto gen start, which is factory from Thor, the RV that we own, which will actually kick in if there is a change in temperature, a change in battery status, or a change in hours. You can actually set the hours for it. Regardless of that, one alert, we're heading back. That's just how we feel. We want to make sure that those 10 cats that we have, dear Lord, 10 cats, are safe, and that we're doing everything we can, obviously, because they put their lives in our hands. So really, really great device, extremely lightweight. I have a very small piece of Velcro on the back of this so that I can Velcro it to the wall in the RV. And when we are in transit, obviously with our inverter on, it doesn't matter because we're in the RV. But if you think about, running those air conditioners, the generator's on, and you happen to go into the supermarket and you're doing your chores, and the generator fails or the air conditioners fail, you can be 10 feet away from that RV, and it can be detrimental if something isn't working properly. So as far as peace of mind, and that's what we believe Waggle is providing us, the peace of mind is huge. It is absolutely huge to know that we can be away from the RV and know that there's something that's going to let us know if there's an issue. As far as water leaks and things like that, which are consistent with RVs, annoying and costly, but not really going to hurt our kids, the pets. They're going to be okay. The subscription, we do an automatic renew, and the app will actually tell you how many days are left. We have 76 days left on our current subscription. And the only thing we're going to do is we're going to up it to the 2-year subscription. Right now we do a yearly that we pay up front, but we are hopefully going to be able to do it at a 2-year, which looks like it's a newer offer. So that'll save us a little bit more money.
They often have promos. I think when we first bought the device, they had a promo that the subscription for the year was half price. So, look for that. They're always running promos, and I imagine this time of year they probably would as well. But the more years you buy up as far as your subscription, the cheaper it winds up being per year. So it's something to look into.
Yeah, and you can visit them at waggle.com, or just do hit whatever search engine you use and put in Waggle, and it's going to come up. I don't know how to do the link in the video description below stuff, so I'm not even going to bother. I'm surprised I actually said that. But it's been a great tool for us. It's been great peace of mind. Again, some of the things that we enjoy as consumers and customers are a helpful person on the other end that's just not typing in that they're sorry for my inconvenience, but you can genuinely tell when we dealt with Mike that he was concerned and did everything in his power to fix the original problem and then developed a resolution on his own. And we shout out to those guys and shout
Totally,
out to
two
Waggle.
thumbs up for
Yeah,
customer
I only got
service.
one because I'm holding this, but yeah, absolutely. Thumb
Yeah,
and a half.
they're fantastic. They don't waste any time getting back to you, and they don't, like Jim said, they don't just, oh, sorry for the inconvenience. They actually do something about it, and they follow up with you to make sure that, you know, the problem is solved if there is a problem.
Yeah, so I'm sure that there's other places that you can go or other ways that you can do whatever you want to get the peace of mind when you're away from your home or away from your RV to keep your pets, whatever you're monitoring. Maybe you've got some expensive plants in your, greenhouse and you want to monitor the temperature. I know nothing about that. You can see that my thumb is not green. But whatever it is, this device is fantastic. So again, if you have any questions about anything that we're talking about with Waggle, please leave them in the comments below or reach out to them at waggle.com. They're probably the better person to reach out to. We had a couple of requests for some additional things that we do when we travel, so those videos will be coming out shortly. Like I said, guys, have a super Thanksgiving. Spend that time with your family. And stay tuned for some more videos and us at Living the Dream, because we're almost back, baby.
Almost back.
Almost back. If you have any questions, let us know. Until then,
Ciao.
keep living the dream.